Under Unlock 1, states and union territories reopen religious places, malls, restaurants, hotels and offices as per guidelines of central government. Devotees offer prayers at various religious places in the country. Delhi's borders also open. On second day of BJP's nationwide virtual rallies, Union Home Minister Amit Shah to address people of Odisha and apprise them of achievements of the Narendra Modi government in its first year of the second term. Maharashtra Jan Samvad rally to be addressed by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Government's game-changer scheme, direct benefit transfer, sets new record of total transparency. Since 2014, over 11 lakh crore rupees sent directly to bank accounts of common people. About 1.75 lakh crore rupees saved till January 2020 by DBT. 9 terrorists killed in 24 hours in Shopia district of Jammu and Kashmir. 4 terrorists, including a commander, eliminated in fresh encounter at Pinjora area of Shopia today. 5 terrorists eliminated yesterday. WMO hails IMD for accurate prediction of Genesis track intensity, landfall point and time of cyclone Amphan. Says IMD showcase excellent lesson and best practices in tropical cyclone forecasting and warning services as well as response action, leading to sufficient preparedness. Active cases of COVID-19 rise in India to 1,25,381, 1,24,094 people cured and discharged, 7,135 fatalities. Over 70 lakh people worldwide infected by coronavirus. Deaths surpass 4 lakhs. US tops the list with over 19 lakh people infected. Brazil comes in at number 2 with over 6,91,000 patients. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma with you once again in our top story. The first phase of easing of the countrywide lockdown has come into effect from today as several states are witnessing the reopening of places of worship, such as temples, churches, mosques and so on, as well as shopping malls and restaurants, while adhering to the guidelines issued by the Home Ministry and the Health Ministry. In places of religious worship, special focus has been given to sanitization within the campus with the strict compliance of physical distancing norms to ensure the safety and well-being of devotees. It has been suggested not to distribute prasad or holy water. It is also mandatory to take off sandals and shoes before entering the premises of religious places. States like Goa have decided not to open places of worship for some more time. Meanwhile, Rajasthan has left the decision to open places of worship to a committee headed by the district collector. In Kerala, though, the places of worship to reopen from tomorrow. Major mosques across the state have decided not to open their gates to worshippers for the time being. And meanwhile, Union Minister for Culture and Tourism has approved opening of 820 centrally protected monuments under the Archaeological Survey of India, which have places of worship from today. The ministry has also said that all the protocol issued by the MHA and the Health Ministry will be followed in these monuments. Under phase 1 of Unlock India, shopping malls, restaurants in the country are set to open from today. The central government has advised people to follow the social distancing norms with mandatory face masks for gaining entrance in these places. For guests, it is necessary to give details of travel histories and fill self-declaration forms while signing in at hotels. The malls must have hand sanitizer dispensers and thermal screening provisions. At the entrance, sanitizing luggage is essential. The centre has suggested the use of Arogya Setu app and stressed on extra precautions for senior citizens and pregnant women who are visiting these places. Not more than 50% of seating capacity is going to be permitted at food courts and restaurants, the guidelines say. Instead of dine-ins, the SOPs call for takeaways to be encouraged. Thermal screening is mandatory for home delivery staff. However, schools, colleges, educational training, coaching institutions, etc. will remain closed. International air travel of passengers, except as permitted by the Ministry of Home Affairs, will also not be permitted. Cinema halls, gymnasiums, swimming pools, entertainment parks, theatres, bars and auditoriums, as well as assembly halls and similar places will remain shut. Social, political, sports, entertainment and other large congregations will also not be allowed as of now. And our correspondent Vishal Baristo is joining us from Jaipur for more updates on the situation there, on decisions being taken regarding the reopening of restaurants, malls and places of worship. Well, every state is adopting its own methods. The centre has left it to states as to how they will go about it. Rajasthan, we believe, as far as places of worship are concerned, a district committee will be making the decisions, but that's all we know right now. Vishal, what more details do you have?
The worship, it would take some time, and the Chief Minister held a meeting with the religious leaders 2 days back through a video conference, and then there it was decided that the district magistrates would take a decision at the district level. So we are being informed that it would take another 30 days or so before the religious places of worship are allowed to open in Rajasthan. But the other commercial activities would be allowed, like clubs, restaurants and also the national parks. Remember, Rajasthan is known for its tigers. Ranthambore got its first online booking today, so that's a good news coming from Ranthambore. And apart from that, the malls would also be have also been allowed to function, though with proper sanitization, mask and a strict guideline has been issued. I will ask my cameraman to show you some of the commercial activities. Right now I'm standing outside mall, and there you can see the commercial activities. They have started here in Jaipur. The pharma, which is the essential thing, was always there, but apart from that, there you can see the restaurant people are eating, and they all are having mask, though not while eating, but they have all been asked, restaurants have been asked to encourage takeaways so that there's not much of crowd inside the restaurants. And also there has to be a distance of 6 feet between the two tables inside the restaurant. Also outside a mall, it would take some time. By 11 o'clock we would see some crowd coming in, because remember, this is the first day. People are still very cautious about moving out, and especially going to visiting public places. So all kind of precautions are being maintained by the public as well. So it's a good sign that people have decided and have started following the guidelines of the central government and also the state government, because as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure, and nothing better than this in the times of a pandemic. Rukma?
Right, Vishal. Well, thank you so much for those updates. Meanwhile, restaurants, as we were telling you, hotels, shopping malls in the state of Karnataka are all set to open from today. Take a look at what's happening.
Post-lockdown, with the new standard operating procedures, the malls, restaurants and religious places in Bangalore have opened up with all precautions. Although Karnataka has been in a better position compared to the other states with regard to the number of positive cases of COVID-19, now as part of the malls opening today, we can see the malls getting ready with all safety measures and all the health measures that they are taking inside the malls. There are markings for exit and entry, and there are also new arrangements for seating in the food court inside the malls, and the religious places have also taken precautions to see that the devotees don't rush inside the temples, mosques or the other religious places once they open. The people inside the malls who own the stores are also concerned about the fact that large number of the workforce have returned to their hometowns, and it will also be a little impacting their business initially, but they hope that as the business sets in, as slowly the malls get back to the normal, it will be a new normal for everyone, for the business inside the malls and also for the people who visit the malls. With cameraman Gopal, Aisha Khanam, DD India, Bangalore.
And meanwhile, Maharashtra State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has said 9,671 of 38,000 prisoners have been released so far to ensure social distancing in jails. Deshmukh said the state government is going to release 11,000 more prisoners on emergency parole. He further added that 31 temporary prisons have been set up in 24 districts to maintain social distancing in jails. Again in Maharashtra, after a break of nearly 2.5 months due to the nationwide lockdown, all courts within the limits of municipal corporations of MMR region as well as in Pune, Nagpur and 8 other municipal regions will reopen today. As per the standard operating procedure issued by the Bombay High Court, all these courts, including courts in red zone areas, will function for 4 hours in 2 sessions with only 15% staff strength, while rest of Maharashtra and Goa and Daman and Dadar will have 50% staff each in the 2 shifts. In addition to bails filed pre-lockdown and anticipatory bail pleas, courts will also hear matters fixed for judgment, appeals and final hearing where witness presence is not essential. Courts have been directed to ensure maximum use of video conferencing facility. Precautionary measures involving hygiene practices and social distancing should be adopted scrupulously across courts while entering and inside. Thermal screening will also be done at entry points. Also, entry into the court's premises will be permitted to only those connected with court-related work. A minimum 2-meter gap has to be maintained while queuing up and on entering the courts. Court staff in departments, court halls and judges' chambers to ensure that tables, chairs, telephones, keyboard, handles, knobs, etc. are wiped regularly with disinfectants. On the second day of the BJP's virtual rallies, which began yesterday, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is scheduled to address the people of Odisha today through a virtual rally later in the day. Through this rally, he will contact the people of Odisha and will inform them about the achievements of the first year of the second term of the Narendra Modi government. The Home Minister yesterday addressed the first Bihar Massisan virtual rally for Bihar. At the same time, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will also address the Maharashtra Mass Dialogue to rally. And BJP President of Kashi region, Mahesh Srivastava, has said that the BJP Uttar Pradesh along with UP government are monitoring the groundwork through online medium using technology. He said that help and assistance is being provided to the poor and the needy by party workers through coordination over webinars.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी उत्तर प्रदेश संगठन सतत सेवा में लगा हुआ है और आधुनिक तकनीकी के माध्यम से उसकी मॉनिटरिंग, उसकी कार्यशैली कैसी पूर्ण रूप से ज़मीन पर संपादित हो, इसका चिंतन हमारे यशस्वी प्रदेश अध्यक्ष जी और प्रदेश के संगठन महामंत्री सुनील बंसल जी रोज़मर्रा करते हैं। भोजन की पैकेट की बात हो, अनाज किट की बात हो, चप्पल जो श्रमिक प्रवासी श्रमिक आए उनके लिए चप्पल की व्यवस्था की बात हो, उनके लिए राह में तमाम सुविधाओं की बात हो, बसों की व्यवस्था करने की बात हो, इन सब बातों पर लगातार मॉनिटरिंग होता है।
The Modi government's game changer scheme, direct benefit transfer, has set a new record of total transparency. Since 2014, over 11 lakh crore rupees has been sent directly to bank accounts of the common man through DBT. With the elimination of middlemen and ensuring no chances of corruption, money is now directly reaching the poor and beneficiaries. Presently, 426 schemes of 56 ministries fall under the bracket of DBT, according to the government, the portal of DBT, 11,14,000 crore rupees has been directly deposited into bank accounts till June 7th, that is yesterday. Not only this, there has also been a saving of about 1.75 lakh crore rupees till January 2020, which earlier used to fall into the pockets of middlemen or brokers. The DBT scheme is also proving highly beneficial for ensuring help to the poor during the COVID crisis. Using this system of digital payment, more than 42 crore poor have been helped. According to the government, financial assistance of 53,248 crore rupees has been provided directly under the Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan package till June 2nd, for which DBT scheme played a pivotal role. The World Meteorological Organization has lauded the India Met Department for its accurate prediction of cyclone Amphan. In a letter, the WMO's Secretary General E. Manenkova said the cyclone advisories were provided to the WMO and in particular Bangladesh, which was also affected by the storm. In a letter, WMO also said that the accurate prediction of the genesis, track, intensity, landfall point and time, as well as associated weather like storm surge, rainfall and wind by IMD RSMC New Delhi with a lead period of more than 3 days has immensely helped in their early response and actions. The letter added that the services provided by the IMD have been showcased as an excellent lesson and best practices in tropical cyclone forecasting and warning services, as well as response action, leading to sufficient preparedness for mitigation of losses and damages. The letter also mentioned that the WMO Secretary General used the information from the bulletins to communicate with the UN Secretary General about Amphan. Those bulletins were also well utilized by the WMO in New York to daily brief relevant entities of the UN at its headquarters on the status and potential impact of Cyclone Amphan. The WMO is part of the United Nations. An encounter between security forces and militants took place in Pinjora area of Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir, in which 4 militants were killed by security forces. Security forces were reported to be hiding in the area, after which police, army, 44RR and CRPF conducted a joint operation and cordoned off the area and started a search operation. When the joint team of security forces reached the suspicious spot, the terrorists who were in hiding started firing. This is the second encounter in Shopia in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, security forces killed 5 terrorists in an encounter. And joining us now is our correspondent Salman Qazi, who has more details. Well, a big breakthrough there for security forces, 9 terrorists slain, and well, we believe that both encounters are complete as of now. What updates can you give us? Salman, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Right. We believe that security forces have had a major breakthrough. 9 terrorists have been slain since yesterday, and what more details can you give us?
This encounter, there have been 2 encounters that have occurred. One encounter occurred yesterday in which 5 militants were killed, and this encounter that has happened today. This encounter started during the midnight, somewhere during the midnight, and was based on an intelligence input. Security forces had got intelligence input that there was the presence of militants, and there was an search operation in the Pinjora village in the Shopian, which is in the South Kashmir. Security forces came under the fire from the militants, which was retaliated, and the encounter ensued almost all night long. So, and in the morning, there were reports that 4 militants have been killed, which have been now officially confirmed by the army and the security forces. In this encounter now, 4 militants have been killed, and 3 army men have received injuries during the encounter. And this does represent a huge success for security forces, as there are reports that among the militants killed there is also senior commander of the Hizbul Mujahideen. We have not been given the identifications of the killed militants as of yet, but there are reports, and however these are still unconfirmed, that one of the militants that was killed is a senior commander of the Hizbul Mujahideen.
Right, Salman, thank you very much for joining us there and for all your inputs. Well, moving on now, yoga is the base for a healthy life or healthy living. Our correspondent Kiran Bharadwaj spoke to Acharya Pratishtha to find out the importance of yoga and what it can do for us.
How can yoga be helpful to lead a better and a healthy life? To talk about this, we have with us Acharya Pratishtha ji. Pratishtha ji, what is the necessity of practicing yoga in today's lifestyle?
Yoga is a science that touches all the levels of human life, whether we talk about physical level, mental level, social level, intellectual level, emotional level, and even financial level. So if you want to be a perfectionist, you have to be a yogi. You want to have a wonderful, healthy body, you have to be a yogi. You want to have a peaceful mind, you have to be a yogi. Yoga karmasu kaushalam, which means full perfection in your work is yoga. Hence, especially in today's lifestyle, we need to have yoga as a regular practice if we want to keep ourselves not only healthy at the level of body, but also at the level of mind.
How can a person include yoga in a daily life?
1 hour of yoga sadhana, it increases your working capacity. Not only increases, it doubles your working capacity, which means it converts your remaining 23 hours into 46 hours. That way, yoga is an investment. Then there are several techniques which can be practiced while traveling, while sitting at office, while doing anything. So accept yoga as a lifestyle, but still I would prefer you must take out at least 30 minutes from your everyday life if you really want to enjoy your life.
Can a person lead a yogic life in today's world?
When you practice yoga asana, yoga kriyas, then the circulation of blood is upward. It helps you in the proper circulation of blood in your entire body, proper circulation of oxygen in your entire body, which heals your physical ailments. When yoga is there, you are able to control your own emotions. Anger will vanish by itself if you will be a yogi. Hence, in today's lifestyle, it is more important, more essential to be a yogi, and that too not only a physical yogi, but a 24-hour yogi who lives yoga as a part of his life.
Thank you, Acharya Pratishtha ji, for talking to us. In your hectic lifestyle, do devote some time for the yogic practices regularly. This will keep a balance in your life and ensure a happy and a healthy life for you. Kiran Bharadwaj, DD News.
And in international news, according to data from the Johns Hopkins University, the global count of coronavirus cases has surged past 69 lakhs, while the death toll has surpassed 4 lakhs. The United States currently accounts for the highest number of infections with more than 19 lakh confirmed cases and has registered more than 1,10,000 deaths. Several southern U.S. states reported sharp increase in COVID-19 infections, with Alabama, South Carolina and Virginia registering new cases, seeing a rise of 35%. However, New York City will begin reopening in a phased manner from today, which will bring about 40 lakh employees back to work. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has said that 50 new testing sites will be open for people to get tested. And in the UK, the death toll from confirmed cases of COVID-19 rose by 77 to 40,625. The country, however, and British places of worship will reopen for individual prayers from the 15th of June. After being closed to the public in March as part of the lockdown. The government also plans to uplift restrictions on funerals and weddings from next month, including pubs, restaurants and cafes, while hairdressers are expected to resume business from around July 4th. Meanwhile, Northern Ireland recorded no new deaths. Scotland also did not record any new fatalities for the first time since the lockdown began. Well, with that, we wind up this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Keep watching. Namaskar.